When someone asked the Buddha, "What did you gain from enlightenment?" he smiled and said, "Nothing. I only lost something: ignorance, illusion, fear, and desire." This is the heart of his message. Enlightenment is not something to be achieved or added to your life. It is what remains when everything false has fallen away. It is not a reward waiting at the end of the path. It is the silence that appears when the journey itself ends. The Buddha never described enlightenment as something extraordinary. He said it is simply the end of craving, the extinction of the restless urge to become something. It is the quiet realization that there is nothing to reach because what you are looking for is already here. He said, "Within this very body, with its mind and perception, lies the whole of existence, its origin, its end, and the way beyond it." That means you do not need to search in temples or books or in the words of others. Everything you need to see is already within your own awareness. But how do you see it? The Buddha's answer was simple: through awareness itself. He taught the art of observing life as it happens, moment by moment, without judgment, without resistance. When you watch your breath, you see that it moves on its own. When you observe a thought, you see that it comes and goes without your control. When you watch your emotions, fear, anger, joy, you notice that they appear and disappear like waves in the ocean. And when you observe long enough, you realize something astonishing. You are not any of those movements. You are the quiet space in which they appear and disappear. That silent space, that clear seeing, is enlightenment. It is not a light from outside. It is the light that shines when the clouds of confusion part. The Buddha warned against believing blindly. He said, "Do not believe in anything just because it has been said or written. Believe only what you have discovered to be true through your own direct experience." That is the great revolution, moving from belief to understanding. Belief is borrowed. Understanding is born from silence. Before his awakening, Siddhartha Gautama tried every path: discipline, fasting, study, and self-denial. He pushed both body and mind to their limits. Nothing gave peace. Finally, he saw the futility of all effort and let go completely, not as a strategy, but as a deep surrender. In that moment of total stillness, the search ended. The mind stopped reaching, and awareness woke up to itself. He later said, "I was asleep, now I am awake. And so are you, only dreaming that you are asleep." This is the compassion in his message. Enlightenment is not a privilege for a few. It is everyone's true nature. You are not separate from it. You only imagine that you are. The Buddha compared this to a man searching for his ox while riding on it. The seeker and the sought are not two. He also taught the middle way, the path of balance between indulgence and self-denial. Both extremes are distractions. One clings to pleasure, the other to pain. Balance means living simply, awake and aware, without running from or toward anything. He said, "Just as a candle cannot burn without fire, human beings cannot live without a spiritual life. But that spiritual life is not about beliefs or rituals. It is about being present. When you eat, just eat. When you walk, just walk. When you breathe, just breathe." That simple, undivided attention is true meditation. Meditation is not a special act. It is the natural state of awareness when you stop trying to control or change what is happening. Through this awareness, you begin to see the root of all suffering, craving, the desire for something other than what is. The mind wants permanence in a world that is constantly changing. It wants life without death, joy without sadness, gain without loss. But everything changes, every breath, every thought, every relationship. When you truly see this and stop fighting it, desire drops by itself. then the mind is quiet, not because it has been forced, but because it has understood. That quietness is not empty, it is full of peace. It is not the peace of sleep, but the peace of clarity. To be enlightened is not to escape life, but to live without conflict. It is not to become special, but to become simple, free from the endless chatter of the mind. People often ask Buddha, "Are you a god?" He said, "No." "Then are you a saint?" "No." "Then what are you?" "I am awake." That is what the word Buddha means, the awakened one. Enlightenment does not give you supernatural powers. It gives you simplicity. It does not make you higher than others. It makes you equal with all beings. When you're enlightened, you still eat when you're hungry and sleep when you are tired, but there is no inner resistance, no mental commentary. Life flows through you naturally. In that natural flow, every act becomes sacred. Drinking water, hearing a bird, feeling the wind, all are seen as part of the same living moment. Buddha has said, "If you wish to know the truth, hold no opinions." This means stop clinging to ideas about what enlightenment is. Stop trying to define life. Let go of all conclusions. Truth is not found by adding new knowledge. It is revealed when you stop pretending to know. It is like cleaning a dusty mirror. You do not paint a new image. You simply wipe away what hides the reflection. When the mind is quiet and free from judgment, it reflects reality as it is, not as you wish it to be. From this seeing comes compassion, because once you understand how every being is trapped in fear and desire, you no longer condemn anyone. You simply see, and understanding replaces judgment. That gentle understanding is the fragrance of enlightenment. Yet, the Buddha also warned, do not make enlightenment your new ambition. The desire for enlightenment is still desire. It still carries the sense of the ego trying to become something special. True awakening happens when even that desire drops away, when you no longer ask, how do I become enlightened? And instead rest completely in this moment without reaching for anything. That very stillness is the awakening you were looking for. Enlightenment is not a future event. It is freedom from the future. It is the realization that there never was a seeker, never a path, never a destination, only life itself, unfolding in timeless awareness. The Buddha's last words were simple and profound. All things that arise will pass away. Live with awareness. He did not mean strive to reach something. He meant live awake before life ends. The body will fade, the thoughts will disappear, but awareness, the silent witness behind them, does not die. When you live from that awareness, you are the Buddha. Then the world is no longer something to escape. It becomes your monastery. Every person you meet becomes a teacher. Every breath becomes a prayer. This is enlightenment, not an achievement, not a miracle, but the quiet recognition of what has always been awake within you.